Hey YouTube, Gundam here. Welcome back to World of Warships and a redo of my microtransactions and loot boxes video. So, first off, my microphone that has been in the family for over 20 years finally broke. I'm on a brand new microphone, so I'm still trying to break it in. So please bear with me. Next, I'm going to talk about, like I said, a redo of microtransactions and loot boxes without it taking an hour like the last video. I want to talk about a way that I believe that they are done properly using World of Warships here. World of Warships is a game that is not claims to be free to play, but then forces you to buy DLCs and expansions. It's not a game where you pay anything up front, and you don't have to spend a single penny. World of Warships can be a 100% free-to-play game. Here's the thing. You can get basically everything in the game without spending a penny, depending. And yes, it is because of these. I'll get to that in a minute. First, the game itself. As we look at the USS Montana here, a ship that never actually existed except for on paper. And that is one of the first things. This game is actually pretty nice, but adjust for the sake of gameplay, unlike others who claim to be accurate, when in fact they're not. This claims it's based on World War II, but they changed stuff for the sake of gameplay, which is nice. Other than that, what does World of Warships do when it comes down to gameplay and premium stuff, the microtransactions? Well, in truth, the microtransactions don't really help. I mean, they do, but they also don't. An example, you can see all these signal flags I have on my Montana. I think I'm even missing one. These do give some boosts, but they don't do that much. And there are camouflages, which do help. Even though they make your ship kind of look odd, they do help, but also they don't. And this is what I mean. So this one increases the experience you gain per battle. In order to upgrade in the tech trees, you need credits and you need experience. Experience to unlock ships, like this is 169,000, and then you need the credits to buy the ship. Is on sale for just under 12 million credits. But you need experience to unlock it and credits to buy it. So something that boosts your experience by double is nice. But what this also does is it makes enemy guns firing at your ship be less accurate by about 4%. And you are more camouflaged. Enemy warships cannot detect you so easily. They have to get 3% closer in order to pick you up. But that's for warships, not aircraft. So that does do something versus other games where they are just pure cosmetics. Now, why do I say that it doesn't really help you? This one, it just makes the enemy guns less accurate. This one just makes you more camouflaged. This one is similar to that one, just looks different. These are the big ones, which we'll take a look at my mighty Yamato to take a look at her big one. First off, Yamato, respect. Why? Damn guns, that's why. But let's take a look at the big one. Now this one, the big one that's up here, which I don't have it on my Montana, it costs 5,000 gold to buy that. I already bought it on my Yamato. So what does this do? Well, you just saw a list there. What this does, makes you more camouflaged by 3%. Makes enemy guns less accurate by 4%. It gives you 100% more experience. And it gives you 20% more credits for whatever you earn is 20% more credits, but also the cost of the ship's post-battle service is cut in half. So that's very good. But it is a one-time fee, and then you get it for free. You see all these others have a quantity number next to it. These are consumables. They're one and done. This one is permanent. So, how does it not actually help? Right here. Here's a battle I played in my Montana. This was a victory, and I have modifiers to boost my credits by more than one thing. It reduces my service right there, and yet I still lost a chunk of money. Now with a premium account, I would have still lost money. I would have lost less, but I would have still lost money. Premium account, yes, you earn more. But notice what I did. I did a lot of damage, and my ship doesn't have 100,000 health. I did over 126,000 damage, so I did far more than my ship had health. Yet I lost a lot. And I didn't get too much total experience and free experience. Commander experience, yeah. Now, let's take a look at that loss. I did more damage. I got less of a loss because more damage. But here's something that hurt. It wasn't too bad on the credits, but the problem is the experience. I took a huge hit. The Missouri is a little bit different. Oh, it's gone anyways. Okay. But the credits and experience you get is completely based upon the game you have. If you have an absolutely terrible game, you get basically nothing. If you do good, even if you're on the losing team, you can actually get quite a bit. I did lose less credits. Yeah, I did earn 79,000 compared to 91,000. I earned more credits in that defeat. I did a little bit better. So I earned more credits even though it was defeat, but I didn't earn quite as much experience. However, there's more to it. And that is to do with premium ships as well, because it's not just consumables that you can buy that actually do something, but it's also there are premium ships. And the Cornerstaff's not a really good example. The Tirpitz is. The Tirpitz was the first high-tier premium battleship in the game. And it is a good ship. There's nothing particularly bad with it. It is a good ship. So, I have seen people in this thing do... Saying that they did terrible would be an understatement. The Yamato has the most powerful main guns in the game. And the rest of the ship, the secondaries and the anti-aircraft is devastating. The armor is very tough. It's not the most maneuverable, but it's not a slouch. And it is kind of stealthy. It's all around pretty good, except for the main guns are the most powerful in the game. But all around it's pretty good. This is the most powerful ship in the game. And I have seen people do absolutely terrible with it. Now, do I have one? I think I sold it. Yeah, I sold it. There is the... Here it is. This is one of them. There is the Izumo here. The predecessor... Well, what the Yamato may have been, but wasn't. The Izumo I'm not sure if they upgraded it, but last I heard, it was terrible. But there is another ship. Here it is. The Colorado. A fully upgraded Colorado? You think, well, that's got to be a good ship, right? It's a tier 7. There is a rule in World Warships. The team that had the most Colorados was gonna lose. Yeah, the team with the most Colorados was gonna lose. It was that bad, and still is, mind you. It's terrible. Absolutely terrible. So, I've seen people in the Yamato do very, very little, and people in Colorado's raffle stomp ships multiple tiers higher than them. The Colorado cannot see any Yamatos, but it can see Tirpitzes, it can see Missouris at tier 9, which is a very good ship. Kronstadts, which is new. The Izumo, which tier 9 should be just able to look at the Colorado and sneeze at it and kill it. Yet there is a video from Jingles where a Colorado went up against tier 9s and just beat them all. And there's a few videos, I don't think it's by Jingles, he probably won't put it up, where people in this bad boy go forward and die doing next to nothing. And it wasn't because of destroyers. This is important. The game depends upon how good or bad you are. That's how you get rewarded. Your credits and experience are based on how good or bad you are. And premiums, like the Tirpitz. The Tirpitz is a very good ship. I've seen people do horrible. This thing earned a nickname. The nickname of the Derpitz. Not Derpitz as in the KV2 where you just see an enemy and you just blast your guns at him and wipe him out and then cackle off. No, Derp as in you're an idiot, you're stupid, you're terrible, uninstall the game. That kind of a derp. Yeah. This thing earned the nickname Derpitz because of all the wallet warriors who went out, bought it, came back, and were absolutely terrible because they didn't know what they were doing. People in Colorado's slaughtered Tirpitzes by the dozens. And the Colorado is the absolute worst ship in the game. Followed closely by the Izumo, but the Colorado is the worst. And the Tirpitz is all around good. There's nothing bad. And there's one very, very good part in the form of its torpedoes. Most battleships don't have torpedoes. The Tirpitz has the best torpedoes of any battleship currently in the game. Now, where is it? Tier for tier, the Mikhail Kutuzov is said to be overpowered. And it is overpowered. They removed it from the premium shop because they acknowledged this thing was just too good. However, it's overpowered for a tier 8. And it would be pretty good in a tier 9 game. In tier 10 games, this thing is asking to die. There was one game that I had where I saw 2 enemy Mikhail Kutuzov sailing next to each other. And I was in this thing. I fired my number 1 turret at one of them, my number 2 turret at the other one. My number 3 turret I held in reserve. They were both on full health. I did not get magazine detonations, I just got triple citadels on the both of them. Sent them both to the bottom. And just cackled afterwards. I'm like, I wasn't 100% sure how I managed to do that. Apparently somebody else did hit the both of them with a shot. I think it was a Montana. And did a little damage, but it wasn't that much. I did over 40,000 damage to each of them. Mikhail Kucherov is very good in a tier 8 game. It is overpowered. In a tier 9, it is good. Tier 10, it struggles. And that's the way it should be. Tier 8s aren't good in a tier 10 game. They're devastating in a tier 6 game against tier 6s, which they can see. Compare that now to premiums like that and this, where the Tirpitz, great ship, can get one-shotted by this thing. And the Montana here, maybe out of the paint skin. Let's try this one. Oh, wait. That's actually better than the one that's equipped, and it looks better. The Montana is pretty good against the Mikhail Kucherov and the Tirpitz. But a Tirpitz can beat them. There's a game that I had in my Yamato. I went up against... Unfortunately, I didn't put this on YouTube. I'm like an idiot. I didn't record. And there was a problem with the replays, of course. In my Yamato, there were 5 or 6 enemy Tirpitzes. And with the help of a friendly Takao... This Takao... With the help of one of these things, which is an otago but except for an anime, the guy that was in one of these went forward and got shot big time, got really, really damaged, and just hid behind an island firing shells over it where they couldn't hit back because of his shallow firing arc, leaving me basically to deal with 6 Tirpitzes alone, and basically sank them all. What took me out was an enemy Yamato that sent fire right into my broadside. That nuked me. Then there was one time in my Tirpitz. Oh, and that wasn't the whole thing. That's just a quick sum up. But there was a time in my Tirpitz where I was very badly beaten. Saw 2 enemy Yamatos at near full health. Sank them both. Killed a Des Moines, a tier 10 cruiser. And sank a Grosse Kurfürst, the tier 10 German battleship, who was on full health. And I was in a Tirpitz on very low health when I started that engagement. That is a quick sum up of what happened. I think I've told the story before, but 1 Yamato versus 6 Tirpitzes and you're basically alone and you kill them all? Well, the Tirpitz must be terrible. 1 Tirpitz versus 2 Yamatos, a Des Moines, and a Grosse Kurfürst, and you kill them all. The Tirpitz must be overpowered. Put those 2 stories together, it sounds more like I just got lucky and had a bit of skill. I've not been able to recopy that, but that was fun. I didn't actually get the killing blow on all those Tirpitzes in my Yamato, but the amount of damage I did, oh yeah. You can get the best premium in the game. It doesn't matter if you're terrible. You can get the worst ship, the Colorado, and be any good. Oh, you're gonna have fun. What matters more than the ship, I mean, the ship is important, but what matters more is the person playing it. Getting the various signal flags that do boosts. This one, huge commander experience. Here's a huge experience boost. A little bit of free XP boost. A little bit, that's 300%. There's more experience per battle. Where is it? Some credits per battle. Yeah, those are great and all, but they don't really help you if you're not any good. I mean, that game that I had in my Montana, I've got quite a few flags here, and I lost money. Look at this. 20% credits. Here's some to my credits. Here's, I don't know where that's from, but it's reduced my post-battle cost of repairing the ship. I lost a ton of money. I got a little bit of experience because that, and commander experience thanks to that. Oh, here we go. Zulu Hotel. Dragon, military contributor, and clan bonus. Type 3 Halloween. You see, here's the other thing, that it tells you everything. What did I get from Type 3 Halloween? Equal Speed Charlie thing gave me there. That one gave me there. The daily win bonus gave 50%. I said only 221. 442 base, 221 there. So, clan bonus. So I made a lot of experience, but I lost a decent amount of credits. Furthermore, and this is a big furthermore, that doesn't per se, I showed you the Takao, and there are the other arpeggio ships, the various Congos and the Miokos. The Missouri's another one, the Kronstadt's another. These are ships that you don't buy, you earn. You gotta play the game to get them. And then you have, yes, you do have loot boxes. But these you get just by playing the game. And there I go. I got some free experience. That I don't really care, and it's a duplicate, but I got some free experience. What's the next one? More free experience. That's always welcome. You can spend your free experience on everything. It's experience that goes all over. Super container. 50 of these. Look at that. There's my detectability by sea. There's dispersion of the shells. There's experience, but also commander experience. And there's 50 of them. And I can stick this camouflage on any ship I've got. What's the next one? This one they just gave to me. Without me, they just gave it to everybody. What? Okay, that's good. 200% experience and 77 free experience. That's insanely good. Here's another one I got just by playing the game. Okay, only 2 of these, but look at that. There's some credits per battle and some experience. But 30% credits? I do only have 2 of them, but here's my... No, that's not my favorite. It's the Papa now Sierra Mike. This increases your ship speed. Yes, this does do a modification to the ship. But, hang on. I just... What? Oh, yeah, there's another thing. Coal. Coal, steel. There's the arsenal tab up here. Look here. Get a large amount of coal, get a tier 10 cruiser. Nowhere near that as much coal, get a tier 6 destroyer. I have a Yubari. There are some coupons you can use. Oh no. I can get any number of ships on a discount. I already have that, already have that. But the thing is, I just got a bunch of coal. If I get enough coal, I can get any ship. Any one of those really good ships, including tier 10s, just by playing the game. And here's the thing. When I bought my Turpits first, I did spend a lot of money on it. My buddy, not too long afterwards, you know that super container? Those contain ships. I just spent a significant amount of money getting my Turpits. Not too long later, he got a Turpits in a super container. Didn't spend a penny, and he got a full-on Turpits. Now, what my package that I got my Turpits in came with a lot of other stuff, but he got a free Turpits just by playing the game. These containers here you get just by playing the game. There are events where you can buy loot boxes, yes, but the difference between wargaming and, say, I don't know, Electronic Arts, they more often than not tell you what there's going to be in it. They remove the junk items. You know, there's the 5 levels: common, uncommon, rare, very rare, exotic. They remove the commons. and it's usually not very expensive either. And you are basically, if you buy 5 or 10, you will easily get your money back by getting a premium ship. A lot of people may look at this and say, you take a look at the prices, especially. Let's take a look at some of these prices in this premium shop here. Yeah, it's the ships that are mainly there. Ding. Okay, here's a huge bundle for 60. Here's that for 35. Then I got the Arizona, 31.47. Molotov, not too great. 20. There's the Turpits, $55. Yeah, $55 for a digital battleship. Or you could just, well, that and a port slot, but pfft. Yes, these are expensive, but you have to bear in mind, it is 100% free to play game, and unlike others, you can get these, like my body did, but still pisses me off to this day. Get one of these in one of those things you get just by playing the game. And there's a dollar ship. Yeah, they do have various special offers and stuff and discounts all the time and stuff. Of course, of course. But, I mean, that is very expensive just for a premium ship, unless you get it for free, which I have gotten several ships just by opening up one of those containers I got by playing the game, and just by getting the other containers I got a lot of ships, but I have bought a lot as well. Here's the thing. This is a fun game. It is a good game. They have so much. I mean, look at the tech trees. Here's your premiums, which, yeah, I have 3 of the 4. Here's some premiums. These ones here. And here's some premiums. This isn't all the premiums, but what about all these? These you can only get by playing the game. If you get a premium, doesn't mean you can just suddenly jump from, say, an Alabama over to an Iowa to a Montana. That's tier 8, that's tier 9, tier 10, right? This goes up by tier. Wrong. You want to get to the Montana? You start with the South Carolina, you get through the Wyoming, the New York, etc. You do earn credits with premiums way faster. You do earn experience, but you got to convert that experience over to free experience. So getting boosts on free experience. But you want to know the faster way of doing it? Just playing the other ships. It's faster and completely free. It is a skip the grind thing. But you have to bear something else in mind. World of Tanks, the first game, was it 2006, 2007? And they basically had the same thing with World of Tanks all the way back then. They haven't really changed their marketing. The tier 8 premiums have always been around $50 for the big ones, and the medium ones have been like $40, and the small ones have been like $30 for the high tier premiums. You've always had to get the big stuff just by playing the game. You'll convert experience, you have to buy premium stuff, except for you can get gold doubloons in your containers here. You can get it. It's a company that does not have horrible business practices, unlike others. Now, you say that they're not perfect. Well, nobody's perfect. The thing is, you don't have to spend a penny, and you can get basically everything. It may take a long time. So yes, they incentivize you to skip the grind only if you want to. But unlike others where you buy a container, you don't know what's in it, look here. Instead of having... Is it available? Not in this one. Specials? Okay, here. 15 British containers for $60. Now, these are special containers that have a higher chance of having... here's the thing. Description. Special signal stuff is... These are the different signals you can get. You can get other things as well. Two elements of a collection. Unique camouflage patterns. This isn't everything that's in there. This is not everything that's in there, but it tells you, it doesn't tell you the ratios. But the last time I did buy something and I took a look, I wound up getting a lot of them in just a few. Do they have another? Yes, they do. Here's 25 of these. You can get, well, several again. These are consumables in game for a bit of money, but the thing is, this is only some of what's in here. Other things in here include ships. So this is $60. Okay, that's $60. What happens if you get a turbot? $55. You've gotten nearly all of your money back. You can say that is one of the ways that they get you, but you'd have to think, well, A, people have been putting up with this. Does it mean people like it? Well, people wouldn't like it if they didn't like the game, if they didn't like the company. And these guys have huge, I mean, World of Tanks has broken several records before. Oh, here's one thing that a lot of people love. Look at the ships. You click on a ship, it tells you advantages of the ship. It doesn't really tell you disadvantages. More experience per battle, huge anti-air. Good high guns, drawback of slow reload time with a bad range. Okay. Good anti-torpedo protection. And the thing is, this is the USS Texas. It's only $10 for a Tier 5 battleship, which is cheaper. But this is the Texas. And something important to bear in mind, the Texas is a real ship. More than once has Wargaming run a Save the Texas event. What do they do during a Save the Texas event? They take all the money from sales of the USS Texas and send it to the real USS Texas because the ship sprung another leak or something. But unlike others who don't tell you anything, they tell you what you're going to get. You can easily find people, many people who have made videos talking about stuff. And yeah, torpedoes, a type of armor not typically found on battleships. Extra credits and more experience. Cobble fire spotting aircraft, heavy secondary guns, awesome main guns, which is, yes, this is glorious stuff. And yeah, it gives you a little bit of info and stuff. Unlike others, which, here it is, you don't know what you're getting, you get it, you're done. You saw when I opened those containers, it said exactly what I got. I mouse over it, I know exactly what I'm getting. Monahan, Destroyer, there's the Arizona. Super Dreadnought, Bringer 14 gun, that's all it says. See the wiki for the performance parameters of Arizona. Click there to see that. Yeah, they don't have too much here, but this is in-game. You go to the website, you can find a lot more stuff. Ashitaka. Yeah, it doesn't say anything. This is the in-game store, which is actually newer. Oh, the Indianapolis. It doesn't say anything. But clearly it does say stuff about some of them at least. Maybe the Warspite, the Grand Old Lady. Nope. So, yeah, the one in-store isn't too much. But the one on the, in-store, in-game isn't too much. But the one on the website usually has more. And again, you easily find people like the Mighty Jingles who do huge reviews of it. People do, you gotta remember the rule. People spend money on what they want to spend money on, and they only spend the amount of money that they want to spend that money on. People say that $3 for a microtransaction or $5 for this other microtransaction in Electronic Arts' games is a little much, and now they're talking about Anthem maybe having $20 for a cosmetic only. Now this does have $50, but this isn't just a cosmetic. This is an actual in-game unit you can enjoy. Stefan Althaus here has been greatly enjoying it. But again, it only matters on how well you play. If you're terrible, it doesn't matter. And the other stuff which do help, some of the signal flags reduces the damage you take from flooding, reduces the damage you take from fire, increases the amount of health you get. Makes your secondary guns fire faster. They reload faster. They are more accurate. Longer ranged. Yes, they do things. But you get those just by playing the game. They throw them at you left and right. Those that have been playing the game for a long time will have more of an advantage. But people that haven't spent a single penny can obliterate people that have spent a fortune just because you know what you're doing and they don't. This game rewards hard work, not those with a thicker wallet. This is a lot of money for some cosmetic stuff, but it's not just a pure cosmetic. Anthem is talking about a $20 armor suit cosmetic skin, maybe. I mean, we don't actually know the actual price. We're going to find out in a few days. I'm recording this February 11th, by the way, but this video is almost an hour long again. But yes, this skin that I have, my Yamato here, 5,000. I think that may have been $5, or not $5, like $30. I'm not 100% sure. Where's 5,000? 4,500 doubloons and a ton of credits and a bunch of premium. What about just doubloon? There we go. 6,500 doubloons for $30. So that was about 5,000 or so. I would argue that that was much less than that. I would argue it was probably around, not much less, but about $25. $25 for this skin. It is permanent, okay, but it does do stuff. It's not pure cosmetic. A lot of people say you should only have pure cosmetics, not stuff that a cosmetic that actually does stuff like this. But another thing to bear in mind is everybody has stuff like this because they throw some at you. You saw the one which gave more credits than this one gives. This one gives a 20% credit boost. That other thing gave a 30% boost. It's true that this does more overall, but still. And yeah, they are consumables. You do have to use them carefully, but they don't really matter if you play terribly. If you do terrible, you wasted it. If you do great, okay then. You get rewarded for it. The game rewards hard work. The game rewards those that do well. And it punishes those that don't, basically. Not really, but, well, This is a good game. I didn't even know I could do that. Shows what little I know. Yeah, this is a good game. Lots of people do enjoy it. And a big thing to bear in mind, of course, it's the fact that people have been enjoying this for a long time with the system they have set up now. Because they know it is a good game. It is a good company. It is a good system. It's not perfect, but the company does not do anti-consumer practices. It is a 100% free-to-play game. They do updates all the time. I'm going to link Jingle's playlist on this and show you his first ever video where you get to see the tech trees. The tech tree originally was you had the Japanese cruisers, battleships, and destroyers. Not these destroyers and not the aircraft carriers. In America, you had the destroyers, the cruisers, and the aircraft carriers. Not these cruisers and no battleships. That's basically how the game launched. Look at it now. And also, it was literally just America and Japan. Look at it now. Poland only has one ship. Commonwealth, one ship. Italy, 3. Pan-Asia, yeah. Oh, and Russia's about to get battleships in the next patch. They don't have battleships. They're about to get that in the next patch. But when that patch rolls out, it's a free update. They just did a carrier rebalance they're still working on. It was free. You didn't have to pay expansion, no season pass. Yes, it is expensive for that stuff, only if you want to pay it. And if you don't pay it, you're not at a big disadvantage. Again, the Colorado have slaughtered Tirpitzes because people didn't know what they were doing. And even now, you still can do great in a Colorado. The worst ship in the game. The Yamato, the most powerful ship in the game. You do terrible and you barely do any damage at all. The Tirpitz, great premium. People get slaughtered in those things, or they do the slaughtering. The game, yes, it is pricey, but you don't have to spend a single penny if you don't want to. If you don't want to, you don't have to. There's much to do, not just co-op battles. There are other things you can do. There's things you can join a clan if you want to. You don't have to. It does give you a pretty nice tutorial. And it eases you in step by step. There are various things you can do at your own time, like these campaigns. I shouldn't. Okay. These campaigns, you can do them in your own time. Personal assignments you can do in your own time. I'm working on one right now. I just finished one for the Yamato. I'm working on this one for my Montana. You get stuff in the arsenal all the time. I've gotten quite a few gold doubloons. One of those containers I got once, one of those super containers, got me over 10,000. I think it was 12,000 gold doubloons in one container. And I just got that by playing the game. All you do to get this, just get a little bit of experience. You get one, get a lot more. You get another, you get a ton more. You get the third one. So that's for the casual, the decent, and the hardcore gamers. It's all right there. There are special missions, the special operations that are very fun. Yes, there's rank battles, there are clan battles, there's the co-op where you're going against. This is a good one. Go against AI, go against other players. The rewards are less, but against AI it's great for practice. Or if you're a noob like me and they're terrible against other players. And if you don't like having to rely on your own team because of reasons, you just work on co-op. I mean, yeah, I do love that. I like my cooperative games, not my competitive. But you have the option right there compared to other games. And it's free to play. Download it, play it. If you don't like it, uninstall it. It didn't cost you a penny, just a little bit of time. Or a lot of time. Don't buy any premiums. You don't want to. A lot of people, they will play the game an hour and then they'll go and buy a Tirpitz and then they'll get their butt kicked and like, oh, the Tirpitz is terrible. Don't ever sell a premium ship. Just put it away, go grab something else. But don't be a wallet warrior. Spend several hours before you buy anything. See what you get. I'd say 2-3 hours a day. Get at least the first container a day. Just get one container away and do it for a week. And you can actually get that in less than an hour just doing co-op battles. You can get it in a single game doing an operation if you do well. You can actually get the second container in one game if you're good. Or 2 games if you're decent. Just play the game. You know, this, I say, is a microtransaction system done properly because there's a great game and a great company attached to it. They're not perfect. There's no such thing as perfect. But they are great. They're really, really good compared to others especially. Not even talking about EA nowadays. It's just, these guys are pretty good. It's a fun game, and another thing to remember, unlike others who claim to be historically accurate and are not, these guys say they are based in historical accuracy but change stuff for the sake of game balance. What I mean about that, the Montana here never actually existed. It's here. The Verdegrob, the Gus Kerfus never existed. They are here, but they did exist as paper. But other ships that did exist, the Gneisenau, the Scharnhorst, the Tirpitz, I had no idea any of those existed. I knew Bismarck because I heard of Bismarck and Hood, but I had no idea about all these things. It's based on history, But then they change stuff for the sake of the gameplay, which I'm okay with because they say they do that instead of claiming it's accurate and they actually lie to you. I had no idea so many things existed. And this teaches me them at my own pace. That and jingles. But it's a fun game with a good system. It's not great. It is expensive, but it is completely free. And you can get it. My buddy is so rich. You can get it all for free. Don't just say that all microtransactions are terrible. Don't say that all games with microtransactions are bad. Don't say that all companies are bad. They're not perfect, but compared to the others, come on. This was a little bit shorter than the last video, but still pretty long. New microphone, still working on it, and some frame rates. I'll catch you all later.